on the mic.
For my left, 10,000 go fall for my right, 1,000 go fall for my left, 10,000 go fall for my right.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, as I walk, I go.
It's a beautiful day, it's a beautiful weather, and it's a nice time to be alive, to be talking entertainment with you. This is Evibes, the home away from home edition, and I have a very wonderful person to have a conversation with. You don't want to miss this conversation. I know I'm well dressed for the conversation. See you. We're still here in New York, yes, and of course this is the home away from home edition of your favorite Evibes with your girl Becky. Today I told you about Fritz. Yes, he was once the baby boy of R&B in Ghana. Today he wants to be called a Christian artist. I don't know why, but I miss you, Chris.
I miss you
Fritz.
too.
Yeah,
Fritz. I miss you too.
I'm under some sort of pressure to speak the way.
It's all right. Take your time.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Take your time.
So how you doing? It's been how many years? Very long time. The last time you were on the Joy News channel, you were on Let's Talk Showbiz, and you were talking about you had just moved. Or announced that you're no more an R&B artist.
Yeah, definitely.
You moved from that sector to another sector. How is that sector treating you?
So far so good. I can't complain. So far so good. And I also think that I think age comes with some pretty degree of maturity as well. I think once everybody grows, they are able to put things in place as they should. So I think so far so good. Of course the journey hasn't been too swift. It hasn't been easy, but I think it's manageable. It couldn't get any better. So yeah, so far so good.
Well, you don't want to take you back. I know that this will sound cliche a bit, but for the benefit of the new viewers that are watching you here on Evibes, we're in New York. You have been in the USA for how long, first of all?
This year will mark exactly. Wow, I've actually been here for a while. So I've been here for 7 years now. Oh,
wow, 7 years.
A little over 7 years, actually.
Okay.
Yes.
And how has that been for you? So I'm looking at a musician. Let me just, be on a safer side and say I'm looking at a musician who hails from Ghana, and you have your regular day job, and also you got to be an artist at a point. So I'm looking at how for the past 7 years you've managed to, merge that, marry both jobs that you have. How has it been like for you? Do you still, do music though? Yeah,
so I think having to work in a corporate America, I mean, just generally like in a corporate environment, I think one of the most integral aspects of your life has to definitely be time management. And so I think for me personally, I think I've mastered the art of managing my time and prioritizing things that, of course, doing music or doing my 9 to 5, I'll pretty much put both on the same pedestal. One is not more important than the other. So it's just a matter of prioritizing things. Okay, maybe you need to go for a job meeting from maybe 9 a.m. to 10, and then you need to be in the studio by 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. Make sure you complete your task, and then you can because the reality is that once you grow, life hits you really, really hard.
Tell me about it.
It comes with bills. This is not the Fritz from 2009.
Yeah, from Odoyewu.
Yes, yeah. It's been over a decade, and of course, it's been so once adulthood hits you like that, you really have to make very crucial decisions, and of course, you have to be very careful with things that you do, and also consider the fact that there are people looking up to you. I'm at a stage in my life where you know, a point comes where you more of, you know, for lack of better words, you become the breadwinner. So you can't make dumb decisions.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And then as much as I love doing music, I love doing ministry, at the same time too, I've got bills to pay. Now, am I where I want to be, even in life generally? No. Am I at a place where I envision myself to be? Well, yes, to some extent. I'm taking baby steps. You know, I'm of the belief that you know, God has specific, you know, times and places and purposes for each and everybody. I'm not rushing. I know a lot of people might have this misconception that, you know, there's this saying in Ghana, oh, atonsium and stuff like that and stuff like that.
It's coming to that.
Personally, for me, those things don't get to me. You understand? What is the point in being out there and you can't even make ends meet? So for me personally, so I think life is full of choices. For me, I had to prioritize having some sense of stability for the sake of my family.
Right.
You know, of course, you know, by God's grace, if I get there, if I get to the promised land where, you know, I'm all over, my name is all over the world and, you know, people know my name, and then I'm able to charge like $200,000 or $100,000, $50,000 per show, then maybe I could actually, you know, cut down on the 9-to-5 focus. Exactly. And, you know, but until then, I believe I have to make smart decisions, because at the end of the day, in as much as I'm also doing Christian music, I also have to realize that I cannot fund things that I'm doing with an empty pocket. Yeah.
I know that you have a Christmas show that you've been working on here for, I think you're almost 3 or 4 years, you know, putting that together.
Yeah, so I started the show in 2016. 2016. And like I said earlier, you know, people have this misconception that I stopped doing music just because you don't see me on TV in Ghana, or, you know, on your Instagram pages. Does not mean I'm not active. Of course, you know, I might not be as active as, you know, as I need to be, as I ought to be, but I make it a point to, you know, make sure I put myself out there, or pretty much exude my gift or share my gift with people. And for me, I think for those who have known me for way back, I've loved Christmas. Yeah. And so I started this from ground zero. Imagine moving to a new country, knowing nobody, and have to start ground up and build your fan base over here. I started this show in 2016. My first audience, you know, only 50, 60 people, you know, showed up for the...
Oh, for the fest?
For the fest, yeah, 2016. Of course, somebody knew me over here. 50.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, 50 people showed up. And of course, initially, like, I was second guessing myself, because I was like, wow, nobody knows me over here. Nobody's even gonna show up. So it went from 50 to 100. And then fast forward, we did our concert last. Even when we started, we're not even selling tickets, because I didn't really believe people really liked me, like, you know, people liked my music that much, or people liked the way I sounded. So initially, you started as, you know, it's a free show and everything, and I bear the cost on my own. And then fast forward, I'm like, you know what? I think we've been able to build our audience. So we started selling tickets. And then last year, God being so good, by God's grace, we had a sold out show. So much that people were willing to bribe the bouncers $100, $200 just to get inside. We had a sold out show. The auditorium was packed. I think we had a little over like 500 people last year. And it's a big deal for me. It's an achievement for me. Yeah. You know, because think about it this way. How many, even our artists who, you know, come from Ghana and, you know, it's neighboring countries, when they come here, it's to be able to pull a crowd of even like 100 people is very, very difficult. And so for me, it kind of pretty much just gave me some sense of reaffirmation that, you know what, like, I don't need to stop here. I need to keep pushing. And so this year, I'm really putting, like, you know, my heart and soul into this. My team has been working tremendously. We started a production meeting somewhere in April. We started rehearsals in June. We got a bigger venue this year. It's called the Schomburg Theater, somewhere in the heart of Manhattan, you know, Upper East Side. sort of, people would say Harlem, whatever, but, somewhere Upper East Side area. I'm very, very excited. Actually, we literally just put out the promo, the official video promo for the concert. And so, yes, this is going to be happening on the 17th of December, this December.
This year.
Yes.
We definitely can't wait for that, because you mentioned something caught my attention when you were making the point about having some of our brothers coming in, or brothers and sisters coming in and having difficulties in pulling the crowd. I want to have this conversation with you. What do you think accounts for, that? Are we, because we have Ghanaians here, we have the community here, we have our people here. I love to think that we do. And we do good music back home. And there's a conversation also back home that we need to, come here more and make sure that we're, all over the place. That is the only way to get our music or our sound out there. What do you think is the problem? You haven't lived here for 7 years and having, pulled out your own show, 3 or 4 successful.
5 actually.
Oh, 5.
Yeah, this will be the 6th one. The 6th one.
The 6th, and now you're heading towards the 6th edition.
Yeah, and a much more bigger venue.
So you're in the right position to, tell us, just advise us, the Ghanaian community.
Yeah, I'll be very honest. I mean, of course, I don't think I have the moral grounds to speak on that. However, I'll speak from my perspective.
That's fine.
With that being said, I think the world has become very more globalized than we think it is.
Okay.
But then we also have to deal with the reality. The system here is completely different. I'm not going to mention names, but there are a couple of, artists who have come around and from Ghana. My fellow artists who have come from Ghana, and they come here and they're kind of disappointed because the expectations, the same crowd that I'm able to pull in Ghana. Over here, I could literally, I think there was a time where I saw, Trey Songz at the airport in California. Yeah, you see a few groupies here and there. Can I take a picture? No, but for most part, people don't really care. And especially, of course, we have a lot of Ghanaian artists who are doing so great. The likes of Camido, who happens to be my friend. We have Kwesi Arthur, we have Kwame Eugene, we have, all these people, Joe Metal, you name them. They are doing so well, the dynamics have kind of like changed a little bit. If I'll be very honest, I think that, the Nigerians are doing, and I know it's a conversation that nobody wants to have, and, it brings a lot of controversy. I also think that we really need to, I think it all boils down to promotion, if anything.
Okay, how do we do that? Because we also would say, or some will argue that there's, no money.
You see, I think, so I think this is what the problem is, in my own perspective. People assume that just because you've made a name in Ghana, once you come here and you pull up, just like, so for example, I'm not going to mention him, but a big artist who has like maybe 5 million followers on Instagram in Ghana, he's huge, he's won awards or she's won awards or whatever. They think that, like for example in Ghana, they could just, I'm doing a show in 2 weeks at the National Theatre or the Conference Center, pull up, and people will show up. Here, you need to, because first of all, you are in a different country competing with the likes of Beyonce and Asake and all these people, Wizkid and all these people, and the promo. Every time, like I go, lately, every time I go on Instagram, I see, a sponsored post, Live Nation promoting Wizkid's concert, and they've been doing this promo for almost 2 months now, if I'm not exaggerating. So they actually put in a lot of effort. They try to reach out to a bigger audience. I think the mentality also has to change. Just because you're coming from Ghana doesn't necessarily mean that your music, you're only doing the concert for Ghanaians. So I think once that whole idea comes into place, you would realize that you would actually have to go extra further, because at the end of the day, you are competing with these people who have, who have become international household names. In my humble opinion, I'm not trying to be funny here.
That's okay.
That's what I think it is. Just because you are big in Ghana doesn't mean that when you come here, people know. I see most of the artists here, work up and down, like, regularly, just like, but in Ghana, it's a completely different ballgame altogether. So I also think that, I think for me, ultimately, I think it has to be the promotion. Yes. I know, we like to organize things, and I've seen a lot of Ghanaian events also flop here as well. And I also think that it really boils down to promotion as well. So yes, they could, and like lastly, I think the mindset has to change. But I also, with that being said, I'd also really humbly, plead with the Ghanaians over here in the diaspora to please support the artists. Yes, support the artists, because there's this spirit that Nigerians have. I don't know what it is.
It's everywhere.
Some way, somehow.
They show up
like, yo, this is my own. Like, we don't even claim our own. So that's, so in as much as, the artists, the Ghanaian artists would have to put in so much for, to do a promotion and stuff like that, or whoever the event organizer or the event promoter, I also feel like Ghanaians also could do a better job. Actually, last year at my concert, half of the audience were not even Ghanaians. Yes. Actually, a greater part of my following are not even Ghanaians. Most of them are Nigerians. On my Instagram currently, I was looking at the insights and the analytics and everything. 75% of my followers are Nigerians. I mean, of course, I'm not expecting everybody to like me, but I think that we also have to
get home support.
Yes, we Ghanaians also have to really, have this culture of, that's my home, that's my homeboy, it's from my country, that's my homeboy. Nigerians, so long as you say I am from Nigeria, forget it. So it is what it is. I've been to like concerts in Apollo Theater.
Amateur night.
It's called amateur night, where it's like icons, TV3 mentor, stuff like that, and they do it for a span of like 8 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever. One time I went, there was this girl, as soon as she came on, I think she said her name was Chidima or something. The moment she mentioned Chidima, just for the mere fact that she's Nigerian, the whole place, so I think that, the support culture is also very, very pertinent in this situation,
The narrative might change. I'm not too sure when.
It would, hopefully. It would.
I'm not too sure when. Yeah, hopefully. We're hopeful. But personally, what would you look out for when you want to go for a concert? Is it the artist or the music that you're going to listen to, or just exactly what would you say that, okay, I'm going to see Beyonce because of her diva song or the way she dances or something? Okay,
before I answer that question, I think there's being an artist for one, I don't think there's anything like a small artist or a big artist.
Okay.
The difference is exposure. The difference is opportunity. I live in America. I've been to so many churches. I've been to a church with just 20 people, and I've heard somebody sing it, and I'll probably say that's the best voice I've heard in my entire life. Now, when I'm going to a show, of course, I'm looking at the aesthetics, the stage, lights, organization. Actually, one thing I didn't mention in our prior conversation was that Ghanaians are so disorganized. Extremely disorganized. Like, extremely disorganized. So and because of that, I might get in trouble for saying this, but I stopped going to like a lot of Ghanaian, it might sound like I'm contradicting myself.
No, it's okay, because it's important that we have this conversation so that moving forward, because we're looking at...
Becky, they are so disorganized. And I think one of the reasons I'll say an artist like Sarkodie is very successful is because I think he has a team, but also, of course, you might have a team that's also organized, but you, the artist, you also have to place demand on what you want. Like my team, I think I have a whole team. Like I have my instrumental, my musicians, everybody. Like sometimes I'm too hard on them. It's not out of, I'm just trying to do whatever. It's like if I want people to love me, if I want people to take me seriously, I have to take my craft seriously. It's not just about putting music out there. I'm going to organize a show, and it was on the day of the show that I'm trying to look for who is going to do my lighting and sound. and like, you know, you are doing a concert, no stage, you know, like nothing, and then you expect me to, I'm paying what, $55 to come and watch you an empty stage and you just jump up and down. Most of you don't even perform live. No, hey, this is my big mouth. No, you know, they will mind. So I feel like we have a lot more work to do, but also I think they need to be very organized. I think that the event organizers here in the diaspora, even American, of course I've been in the UK before, they need to stay very organized. They are so disorganized. So I think that it also hurts the artists, because sometimes the artists, they've done everything they could, everything they possibly can, but you know, some unorganized, some, you know, disgruntled event promoter organizer will just do the thing in such a shabby way that would dim the light of the artist. So I think it goes both ways for the artist and then the event promoters and organizers as well.
Somebody will say, oh, who is this guy, you know, on Evibes talking about, you know, the industry and blah, 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 blah. Who is Fritz Oakley?
So Fritz Oakley is, typically I'll say, oh, Fritz Oakley is a boy, but I mean, I'm a grown man now, obviously. I came into the industry when I was barely 17, 18 years old. I won a singing reality show, you know, I think somewhere 2009, organized by CTFM, sponsored by Vodafone. I released my first single, I think, during that year with Guru. I've done collaborations with, you know, Efia, Sarkodie, you know, I mean, you know, the obvious, you know, greats in Ghana. I'd done a couple of commercials, you know, here and there. I was in the industry, you know, roughly for about 3 to 4 years. I was in and out. Then ultimately I decided to make a very significant, you know, life-changing decision, thereby, you know, relocating. You know, of course, I moved to the UK and then I'm now in the States. But yes, I'm very, and I think, you know, you know, having tasted both sides of, you know, the industry, secular and Christians. So, so people shouldn't actually, like, get me wrong though. I'm just very opinionated, and sometimes it gets me in trouble. And you know, everything I would say, people shouldn't take it to heart. Like, oh, what does, you know, everything, you know. I don't think I need to be Beyonce to be able to, you know, give my 2 cents, you know, or give my suggestions to stuff. So yes, yes, I'm still, you know, working hard. I've been, you know, doing shows here and there, you know, flying in and out here and there, you know, and hopefully, you know, very, 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 very soon, the goal is that I would really get to the top. But then until I get there, I think I need to be very organized. I need to take my craft seriously so that people could also take me seriously. I need to take what I'm doing seriously. I need to take myself seriously. Yes.
Yeah, how much of an influence has your mother? Because I think I've had a personal one chat with her before on you and your career.
My mom is my greatest cheerleader. My mom is everything. Obviously, you know, God is my ultimate, but my mom is, you know, is my angel here on earth, basically. She's been supportive from day one, you know. There are times where a lot of people didn't know this, but there are times where I was like extremely depressed. Like my mom was like, come on, man, like the show must go on. And she's somebody who doesn't know anything about music, you know, and so she's helped me down. My first music video, she sponsored my first music video. My first, you know, gig abroad, she was of course, you know, those days people wouldn't, you know, necessarily pay for you to fly. So my mom has been like my greatest supporter. No day passes by that I don't talk to her. If you look at my phone contact list right now, Mama 1, Mama 2, she calls me on all her numbers, you know, and I know like people who are close to me sometimes even complain, you know, at your age, you're still, you know, still a mommy's boy. I don't think there's anything wrong with being a mommy's boy. Having lost my dad about 7 years ago, it really taught me that you only have just a few days on earth, and the only thing you have left is memories. and it would hurt me to lose my mom someday. So while she's here on earth, I'll cherish her, I'll take care of her. Right now, I don't let my mom do anything. So as soon as she asks, I have to send. Whether I have it or not, I'll have to send. So that's my mom is my angel. And of course, she doesn't like it when I do her favors and stuff like that. But yes, my mom is my everything. Yeah.
I know you have a sister too. How is she doing?
My lazy little sister. She's doing good.
She'll kill you.
Yes, if she hears this. My little my little sister Sandra Jade, she's doing well. She's also in the States right now. She's working. She's in school. She's doing her master's into a PhD and stuff like that. Yes, she's doing very, 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 very well. Great. And she'll actually be singing on my concert this December.
Which is on the 11th?
The 17th of December.
17th of December. I'll keep that date. Date. So how does the future looks like? A lot of people ask, cliche question, but I know that we have a whole, lot of life ahead of us where you're still here since you're still making music. Are you working on something new?
Yes, I think that I've been more focused on building my corporate career because of the fact that I really had to choose stability over passion at some instance in my life.
When you say corporate career, what exactly do you do?
So I'm into finance generally. I wouldn't go into deep, but I'm into finance generally. Yes, I went to school for that. I'm pretty sure you're aware. I was in University of Ghana, did maths. Went to the UK, did my first masters. And I did my second master's. I think the only thing that's missing is me doing my PhD. But yeah.
Okay. So
I'm into finance.
So the future looks really bright. Then.
Yes. Musically, musically, I've started working really, really hard. And I know I say this and then I vanish, but this time around, I know. This time I'm not vanishing.
I'm sure because you don't have to vanish.
Yeah, but you see, I think so. For me, my mental health is everything to me.
Okay.
I don't have a point to prove to anybody. Yes, I need to put music out there. I need to put out content, but you cannot serve water from an empty well. I need to make sure I am in a very sane state of mind before I put myself out there. And of course, the genre of music I do, I need to be very realistic with myself. I can't go and stand in front of people and say, somebody lift your hands. Don't you love God so much? When sometimes I'm dealing with things in my life where I'm doubting God. And so sometimes until I'm in the space where I feel like, I'm mentally clear or stable, I don't put myself out there. And I'm pretty sure you've noticed sometimes on social media, I'm quiet. And when I get off social media, I don't get off social media because I'm depressed or whatever. No, none of that. It's just that sometimes staying off social media really makes me stay in touch with my reality. That's what it does. So yes, I'm really, really working hard. By God's grace, in January, I should
release an album.
Yeah, an EP actually. I'm working on an EP. Yes, and I'll be starting my podcast really soon.
Okay.
Yeah, Oakley Speaks. Yeah. Just general life stuff. It would have a lot of my. I think it would pretty much throw a light on people's life, but then through my lenses, basically, I'm somebody who is larger than life. I don't take things too seriously. Not in the wrong context, but I just go with the flow. I don't, so I feel like I have a lot more to give than just doing the singing. So yes, we started our production meeting a couple of weeks ago. Fingers crossed. Hopefully, our pilot should be well received by the audience.
We pray so. We pray so. I know that you're still working. You have to go, but it's a view. It's a beautiful view down there.
Yes.
I'd like you to take me there. Then we can talk about mental health.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
A lot of people don't. Back home in Ghana, of course, somebody will say, Anna. Ghana for them, like,
and it's even worse.
What is even? Obaka say, now black person, their mental health.
And it's even worse if it's a guy. It's even worse now. Mental health, stuff like that. Yeah, this is very, very important.
Okay,
it really is.
We'll talk about that
definitely
soon.
Not to the happen, we not to the do me. Every day get your matter, but somehow we still they conquer. I know say no be ordinary.
Let's go.
Great. Thanks.
Hi.
Oh, this is a beautiful view. Love that. Are those real?
What?
The flowers?
Yeah, they're real flowers. Okay. It's just that it's going to die down during
fall.
I mean, we're already in fall.
Yeah.
See it gradually wither away. It will definitely wither away, like sooner or later. We literally just left the summer season, so.
I'm sorry for.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is a beautiful view.
Yeah, it really is.
This, I think, calms you down.
The bridge over there, that's literally the George Washington Bridge.
Oh.
You could literally cross there and go to New Jersey.
Ah.
Literally. Yeah.
Is that a ferry?
Which one? Yes. Which one? The one right here?
Yeah. No, not this one, that one.
It possibly is. Okay. It possibly is. Possibly is.
What is your favorite place to hang out in New York?
New York? Mm-hmm. Wow. I think my favorite place to hang, like my favorite place to hang out, typically, that's not my favorite place, but anyway, and my favorite place to hang out would typically be Manhattan. I don't, Times Square, area, Oh.
Oh, okay.
Mainly because I think it just brings back a lot of memories. I remember when my dad passed on, it was the only, and at that time I didn't have family here,
Okay.
So when my dad passed on, it was the only place that I could go and just sit down and just see people from different walks of life, So you feel like you're part of, in my head, I thought, I had family around, So yes, it brings back a lot of memories, and it's just the lights, and there's a lot of fooling going on around there. See people just goofing around and all of that. Yes, I think Times Square is one of the places that you go and you could actually meet just anybody.
Yeah.
You meet the rich, you meet the affluent, you meet the poor, you meet the crazy, you meet the sane, you meet the Asian, you meet the black, you meet the Caucasian, you meet the African, you name it.
Am I overly dressed? I just feel like I am. But I mean, that's not the point.
You know what? You know the funny thing? The funny thing is, when I first moved to America, I also had a culture shock because, you've been to the UK a couple of times. And their dressing is very different.
Yeah.
I'm like, I find, yeah, this is America, JFK and everything. And the first time I get on the train, I see everybody else is wearing sweatpants. I'm like, what? So I guess I think it's a cultural
I'm just representing Ghana the best way I can. Just looking at this view and the beautiful place that we have here, I'm thinking, what inspires you to create music? How is the process like for you?
For me, I think God is my inspiration, but I also think things happening around me. We could be here, you could probably tell me something about your life, or we could just have a random conversation about something, and then it was just, I could just randomly just be driving in my car. There's a song playing on the radio, and then there's just a melody just comes to my head. So for me, it depends. I don't really have a, I don't say that, hey, I'm writing music today, no.
People say that they have a dream.
I don't know about all of that, honestly.
They walk around the place and they see, is that a ship right there?
It is a ship, actually.
Yeah, so it could inspire you.
It's obviously not the Titanic, though.
No, it doesn't look like it. So it doesn't work with you like that? You just, sleep and wake up and...
You know what? Everybody's different. Everybody's different, honestly. I can't speak for people. I can only speak for myself. And maybe God is there to give me a song through a dream. That would be great, And I'm not trying to, say that... I'm not trying to say that people don't really experience that. It's just that it doesn't really speak to my reality. That's why I can't speak for them,
How many songs do you have? Off your head?
Songs that I haven't recorded yet.
Songs that you've recorded, because I'm getting somewhere.
Songs that I've recorded, that I put out there.
Yeah, that's out there.
Maybe 6.
Okay.
Maybe 6, yeah.
So we can count 6. Which one is your favorite?
My favorite is My favorite has to be Times and Seasons.
Oh God, I knew you were gonna say that. You love Christmas and
no. If you do the funny thing, if you listen to the
no, it's
no, if you listen to the
lyrics.
If you listen to the lyrics, it talks about life. It doesn't even talk about Christmas. But you know, it talks about you know, how like life could change in a split second. It talks about how, you know, it's every like young boy's dream to grow up and make mama proud. Like I said, you know, I love my mom so much, and then I think there was a time in my life where I didn't know what I was moving for. I was coming backward. So it's like, you know, I was in a state of a very, like I was in a, I wouldn't want to use the word depressed. I think I was in the most unfulfilled state, mental state in my life. I'm like, wait, I'm over here. I have a master's degree and I can't really do anything. I can't find the job. You know, I apply for jobs and then they don't give me the offers and all of that. They just really got to me. I'm like, no, I'm getting older. You know, that pressure begins to mount on you. Like, yo, you gotta start working and start making money.
Oh, I can see it.
Yeah, that's Kaswa.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got that, sorry.
Oh, you can actually see it from here.
It's a very historic, ancient area.
Okay.
This side of the lake or the sea, whatever they call it, kind of links to the one near a Statue of Liberty.
Oh.
That was where the Titanic ship was coming to and then it sank. Yeah, it sunk, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nice. Very close to it.
Yeah, I think next time you visit the UK, don't just restrict yourself to this, you know, London. Try and go up there, Liverpool, Lancaster, Newcastle.
I will.
Leeds, yeah. There's much more to see in, you know, the United Kingdom than just, you know, and everybody, London is just like, you know, New York or New York City, but
yeah,
I think you should, yeah.
But I'm sure we've seen enough here. You've shown us enough, apart from the lake.
Yeah, I chose to live in a much more regal area. I love the lights. I love the, you know, the modernized environments and everything. But I think I also like to stay in touch with nature as well. So, hence my reason for living in such an environment.
Yeah. As
you could see, like I could literally look at the sea from my window.
Yeah. Very nice. Very beautiful view.
Yep. Thank you.
Mountain Afajato right there. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But one of your songs, Rise on a Prayer or Rise on Prayer.
You know, the funny thing about that song is it's the original artist is called Etana.
Etana.
She's a Jamaican artist.
Oh.
She actually shared it.
Wow.
Yeah, she was the original writer of the song.
But it's the way you went about it was like so simple, and I'm like, God, why are we not having more of you? And then we're back to the same old conversation.
Yeah, but like, you know, this year, I think, this is just I haven't been too active on social media. I put out 2 songs or 3 songs. I think that's an achievement, especially for somebody who doesn't do music 9 to 5, you know, who doesn't do music like full time. So I think...
we should give you a hand.
Yes, I think you should give me a pat on the back, basically.
You've done well. Yeah. Well, it's been amazing having this conversation with you.
It's been a pleasure meeting you after God knows how many years.
Yeah.
Yes, and
I decided to touch base with you. This is what we're doing. If you don't know, we're touching base with our people in Yonki, you know, to find out how they're doing, what they're up to, how, you know, the whole place is treating them. And I'm glad to see you in good health. And I'm glad that you're giving us content.
Yes.
As in your own content, which will benefit, you know, everyone. I'm not too sure. I'm sure you've heard this over and over again. You have the voice and all of that. You need to bless us more with the voice.
I will.
And keep in touch with home.
I will. I was actually in Ghana this year.
Oh.
Yeah, I was in Ghana this year.
I had a party and
then
I
I was
never got
surprised, you know, birthday party for my mom.
This is saying something really nice.
This is a monument from 1799. That's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of these, this is a very like historic like county.
Okay.
Yeah, the Westchester County is very historic.
Looks like it.
Yeah, I guess I would have to do my research on John Jay. Yeah.